You've heard the cliche 1,000 times. Men love women who make them feel needed. Cute idea. Romantic even, except it's dead wrong. Because the truth is, the woman who doesn't need him at all is the one he can't stop thinking about. Not the one begging for attention, not the one always available, not the one who sends 5-paragraph essays about where this is going. It's the one who's calm, detached, unbothered. The woman who doesn't flinch when he pulls away, who somehow burrows into his head like a song he can't turn off. Why? Why do men fall for the woman who refuses to play the emotional victim? Why does independence hit a man's psychology harder than affection ever could? This is what I call the reverse sympathy trap. And once you understand it, you'll see why the strongest emotional hold isn't built on mead, it's built on mystery. Picture this. A man meets 2 women in the same week. The first one, let's call her Lila, is sweet. She laughs at his jokes, texts him back in seconds, asks if he's eaten. She gives him warmth, comfort, validation. It feels nice, like a warm bath. The second one, Ava, is different. She listens, but she doesn't chase the conversation. She's kind, but not eager. When he cancels plans, she doesn't guilt him. She simply says, cool, I'll make other plans. And suddenly, his brain does something stupid. He starts thinking about her, not because she gave him more, but because she gave him less. He starts wondering what she's doing, who she's seeing, whether she even cares. He starts falling not for her attention, but for her indifference. That's the reverse sympathy trap. She never begged for his love. And that's exactly why he starts offering it freely. The hidden mechanism, sympathy versus mystery. Here's the psychology. Men are biologically wired to protect, fix, and rescue. It's built into the masculine ego. But modern dating turned that instinct into a trap. When a woman acts needy, desperate, or emotionally dependent, his brain doesn't register romantic connection, it registers responsibility. He feels sympathy, not attraction. And sympathy is a short-term emotion. It burns out the moment the guilt phase. Now flip it. When a woman seems self-contained, emotionally stable, and non-reactive, his brain senses something completely different. Mystery. He starts wondering, how is she fine without me? That question is like a mental hook. Because men aren't addicted to affection, they're addicted to uncertainty. The reverse sympathy trap works because it rewires his instincts. Instead of feeling like her savior, he feels like her student. Instead of pity, he feels curiosity. Instead of comfort, he feels challenge. And curiosity is the oxygen of male desire. Addiction trigger 1, the challenge loop. Every man secretly craves a mission, not an easy one, not a guaranteed win, a challenge. That's why video games, business, and competition keep men hooked. They're built on progress tension, space between almost winning and not yet. Now, in relationships, the woman who plays the sympathy card kills that tension instantly. He already won her attention. There's no game left to play. But the woman who's not impressed by his jokes, who doesn't bend her plans around his schedule, who smiles, says maybe, and walks away, she creates the challenge loop. He feels a gap, and his ego wants to close it. He starts trying harder, saying more, doing more. And the wild part, he calls it chemistry. But it's not chemistry. It's competition disguised as desire. That's why the reverse sympathy trap works like emotional jujitsu. She uses his own masculine programming against him. The harder he tries to earn what's not easily given, the deeper he invests. And the deeper he invests, the stronger his attachment becomes. Addiction trigger 2, the respect before love sequence. Here's something men rarely admit. They don't fall in love first, they fall in respect first. A man can't feel romantic attachment for someone he doesn't admire. And admiration is born from distance, not proximity. When a woman's world doesn't revolve around him, when she has direction, standards, and boundaries, he subconsciously classifies her as rare. He doesn't think she needs me. He thinks I need to level up to deserve her. That's the reverse sympathy trap in action again. She doesn't seek his validation. She forces him to seek hers. Respect comes before love, and love built on respect doesn't fade easily. Because now, every compliment she gives feels earned. Every moment she shares feels granted. And men value what they have to earn, not what's freely given. Addiction, trigger 3, the emotional reversal. When he meets a woman who radiates independence, something strange happens in his subconscious. He feels what women often feel around confident men, a loss of control. He starts to chase emotional equilibrium to win back the feeling of power. But here's the catch. The more he tries to impress her, the less power he feels, because she doesn't flinch. She's not impressed by effort. She's impressed by authenticity. So he begins lowering his walls, showing real emotion, trying to connect on a deeper level. And the woman who started with less need ends up getting more depth. That's the final turn of the reverse sympathy trap. The switch from external validation to internal vulnerability. He's no longer trying to fix her, he's trying to understand her. And understanding is the root of emotional intimacy. The role reversal. At first, he thinks he's the chooser, but when she doesn't chase, the power flips. Now he's performing, texting more, joking more, trying harder, and she's still calm, unimpressed but not cold. That balance breaks his logic. He starts to wonder, am I enough for her? And once a man starts asking that question, the trap is already set. The power projection loop. There's something magnetic about a woman who doesn't rush to prove her worth. When she's calm, centered, and unbothered, it radiates silent power. She's not cold, she's composed. And that composure flips his instincts. He's used to being the strong one, but now he feels like the one seeking approval. Her stillness becomes a mirror reflecting his insecurities back at him. So he leans in, he talks more, he tries harder, and the more effort he invests, the more his emotions follow. That's the power projection loop. The less she seeks validation, the more he needs it from her. The scarcity signal. Scarcity creates value in business and in love. When she gives affection sparingly, not as a game but as authenticity, he feels it more deeply. Every text, every smile, every small sign of warmth feels amplified. Why? Because her attention isn't a flood, it's a drop of gold in a desert. Men get addicted to what feels earned, and the woman who doesn't hand out her energy freely turns her presence into currency. The more he realizes she's not available to everyone, the more he wants to be the exception. That's the scarcity signal. The quiet aura that says, access to me has to be earned. The final paradox, need nothing, gain everything. Here's the truth most people miss. Need creates pressure. Freedom creates pull. When she doesn't need him, her love becomes a gift, not a transaction. She can walk away. And that makes every moment feel like a choice. And choice is the most seductive form of power. Men aren't drawn to dependence. They're drawn to emotional abundance. The woman who's full by herself invites him to add to her world, not fill it. That's why he keeps coming back. Not to rescue her, but to belong to her calm. Picture this. He's gone through hundreds of texts, endless conversations, and fake connections. But his mind drifts back to her. The one who didn't beg, didn't demand, didn't need. She never fought for space in his life, and that's exactly why she still lives there rent-free. She didn't need him to feel whole, and somehow that made him feel incomplete without her. That's the reverse sympathy trap. It's not manipulation, it's magnetism born from peace. Because the woman who needs nothing becomes everything he can't forget.